Wait.
What
I
was
was
your
gonna say, sorry, I'm like a little distracted. So like, because I have to send some documents to my loan officer. So my fault.
um all right. So I'll just kind of introduce it here. We're gonna be talking about Don't Let the Forest In, which was kind of like our spooky read for October. We're finally getting around to it. But yeah, that is what we're gonna be talking about today. So carry on, guys. What you got for me? How did
Um,
everybody feel about the book first? Let's get like our initial reactions out of the way.
I fucking hated it. Oh wait, can I
Okay.
swear?
Yeah. I mean, I think so. We've definitely sweared on all of our other podcasts. Like,
Okay.
I
We're
mean,
all adults here.
I really think we tried to keep it chill the first time, and then I got away from me for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Well, I hated it. I'll
yeah,
put a PG version in there.
I could see that from you. I'm not surprised that you didn't like it. And
It wasn't a Nikki book, right? Like it wasn't like
no,
a
no.
This was
I'm
definitely
just
not my suggestion.
I'm honestly impressed though that like you stuck it out even though you don't really like the scary stuff. Like I'm impressed that you
Yeah.
finished it and so I'm really proud of you on that.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I can
Absolutely.
so like I understand why it was recommended when I don't like scary because it's not like specifically scary, but also one of my biggest fears is going insane and not
Mhm.
realizing I'm going insane. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening to Andrew. So,
Yeah, yeah, okay.
like,
So I
should we give a
definitely want to talk
synopsis?
about that. Yeah. Yeah. I does why doesn't and not to like put you forth, Emily, but I feel like okay, let me backtrack. Who here feels like they could accurately give a synopsis of this book?
I feel like I
um,
can. I feel like
yeah,
I can if you want me to.
Oh, okay,
it
yeah.
it was so long ago. I feel like I kind of
I
forgot
knew
it.
you were gonna say that. Like, because I said the same thing. I was like, yeah. I mean, like, I do remember like primarily, but I also think this is one of those books that like when you finish it, the answer is not just obvious as to like what actually happened or transpired. It's sort of like
right.
left you wondering, you know?
There's
Mhm.
I kind
I'm
of
pretty sure I know what happened. I can
Seems
tell you.
yeah,
All right, go for it, Nikki.
like like up to interpretation at the end, though, isn't it?
I
Oh,
think so.
sorry.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
think so.
up to interpretation.
Nikki's like, no, fuck this
It
shit.
is.
This is what happened.
No, but it's so yeah. I mean, do you want me to give the synopsis or just someone else less
No,
biased
shoot,
want to give the
shoot,
synopsis?
bro.
yeah. I
No,
think it'd be
we
interesting.
need
You don't have to be biased for a synopsis, though.
Okay, okay,
we need
that's true.
controversial content here, okay? Like
Okay, well, I guess I'm the controversial one today.
I have
Um,
my own opinions, so
oh, okay.
yeah.
So the book for anyone listening is called "Don't Let the Forest In" by C.G. Drews, and it's about a couple kids in high school, and it starts off set in like dark academia setting with I think Wildwood Academy. Is that the name of the school? I think so. And it's basically a boarding school for the wealthy. And it starts off with Andrew and Thomas, who are the protagonists, and they go through a lot of things together. But Andrew is a prolific writer, except he doesn't share any of his writing with anyone other than his twin, Dove, and Thomas, who's like their, I want to say like adopted triplet because they were all like very close. But you find out that like Andrew is in love with Thomas. I wouldn't call it love, I would call it obsession, but remains to be seen. And his stories, Thomas likes to draw, and his stories are basically kind of coming to life in Thomas's drawings. And they're of monsters, so it ends up being bad because they're attacking. And so they have to figure this out while trying to navigate school and bullies and other tough situations. And I don't know if I should share the ending.
Oh yeah,
I
I
guess
mean,
we have to, right?
yeah, we're talking about the book, so
Yeah,
I mean, if
that's
anybody
true.
preface, if anybody ever listens to this, well, spoilers, like
Yeah.
Number.
Well, definite spoilers here. So you find out later that Dove had died actually the previous year, and that, in my opinion, Andrew's going insane because I don't think any of it was real. Because other than Thomas, who saw the monsters? No one. And so at the end, I'm pretty sure, in my opinion, I don't think it's very interpretation heavy. I think
Okay.
Andrew killed
Okay, I will
Thomas.
say I feel like other people did see the monsters because people died.
I have a quick question though, because
Okay,
like,
but Emily, did they die or did Andrew kill them? Because no one saw
Well,
the monsters
maybe.
other than the people that died and
I mean,
only
maybe he
Andrew.
killed them, but like, I mean, that happened, I guess, because
or
the
was
It's like
Andrew
the
ever even at
monster.
school? Was he just in a padded white cell, like doing all this
That,
shit? Because that's the way, that's how I took it, is that like he never was actually there. Like, you know?
yeah.
Like I thought he at the end I was like, no, dude, like he never even went to school. This is all in his head. Like that bro is in solitary
Well,
confinement. Like
like
And like,
after Dove died.
well, yeah, because like it talks about like how he like absolutely lost his shit at the end of the year when she died, like broke the mirror and like went insane. Like what like did he even come back? Like that's kind of my thing.
Do you think the school exists though? The school exists,
Well,
right?
yeah, I think the school exists. Yes.
Yeah.
I
But
think
he
the
never
school
went
exists, and
back.
I think he came back because why would he invent this like relationship with Lana? Remember the girl that was really close to Dove? Like,
mhm.
how would he invent that in his mind, in my
Well,
opinion?
in my opinion, he did that because Dove wasn't there. So, and he knew that like Dove and Lana were friends. So, like, that was his connection to Dove. It was like, okay,
Like
like
a
now,
realistic, like
yeah, like that's kind of how I took it. Because, like, was that even happening? Was he actually even talking to Lana ever?
yeah.
You know?
I think he was
Honestly,
there and he was like going crazy there and
Yeah.
people saw him going crazy there.
I
yeah,
thought
I
that
agree with Madeline. I
until the
think he's
end.
going insane
Yeah. But I
until the
also
end.
Yeah, like I thought all of that. And I agree with you. I think Thomas was killing them. Like, or I'm sorry, Andrew was killing them. I really do. Like, I thought that all the way up until the end. And then there was that like one part where like at the very end when they like go to the woods or whatever and like I think they kill themselves, like, or he kills Thomas. I don't know, but like I don't think it's
I
real.
don't was Thomas alive even then or there?
Right, right.
Well,
Or
and
like
that's
did
what
Andrew kill Thomas's parents? Like yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's what's so like trippy about this book, and what I liked about it because like even in the book the author said it's like up to the reader to like determine like what happened. And I feel like it just leaves everyone in a psychological spiral.
Oh yeah, I
Mhm.
spiraled for sure. Like
I agree with Emily. That's why I like the book because I like books that make me think and like, are like, what the fuck actually happened? That's
kind
why
of
I
like
like
when you made me
Mary.
read Verity.
Yeah,
Like
that's
was
why
she alive? Was she not? Like or was she actually doing that shit? Did she do it? Like that was me. Like I had to sit there and think about it for a while after I was
I
done.
like I like that. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
I
talked
do
about
like
it.
that aspect too, for sure.
Yeah, not a fan.
I
That's okay. I think Nikki, I don't think you like when things go wrong, and I respect that. Like who
So
does
I mean, I don't
wrong
mind when things go wrong. I just
like that heavy?
will say like it was intriguing the whole time because initially I thought like Andrew, I honestly initially thought either Andrew or Thomas was actually dead. And like I thought that for a while until like halfway through the book when I realized like, oh, Dove's dead. Like no one has seen Dove other than Andrew. But then I feel like um I think that Andrew was going crazy and he's the only one that actually saw the monsters. And maybe he didn't kill Thomas. Maybe that was like a figment of his imagination. Because I am open to the interpretation that like Thomas like in self-defense killed his parents and was taken away at the beginning. Kind of like what Fake Dove said at the end,
Yeah.
where like
Fake
Thomas
Dove.
never
Love
actually
that.
yeah,
T never came
spirit
back.
of Dove. I don't know what
I really don't think
it,
Thomas was
but
there.
that like I'm wondering if I could also see him having been there at the beginning, but getting taken away by the police because the police just kind of like stopped like the presence, And
Mhm.
then, Andrew was left alone by himself, like constantly. But I feel like other people saw Thomas, and that's why I feel like Thomas was there. And
Yeah.
that's why I like, because if you look back, like no one actually talked to Dove, and he never mentioned anything about like talking to Dove other than in his head until like the end. And that's when Lana started being like, he has no recollection of what happened, or he's living like in psychosis or whatever.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I had it on audiobook and like Eric had to listen to some of it too. And his theory initially was that it was like a Fight Club situation and that like Thomas never existed. It's like Andrew's alter ego. And
Which would
like,
make
I don't,
sense
have
why
you guys
he's
ever
so
seen Fight
obsessed
Club?
with him. Yeah, I've seen
Yes.
it for sure.
Well,
Honestly, that's an interesting thought. Like that could be a
Well,
possibility.
and just like Andrew's like whole vibe with Thomas, like like the weird creepy things he would say, like I want to live in his skin, like bro, you're 16. I'm not sure
oh,
you should be
30s.
thinking of
no,
that right
it's
now. Like,
disgusting.
I don't
Maybe
know. I kind of relate to Andrew on that because like I become obsessive with people in the same way and I'm like I just want to live in their chest. I want to crack their chest open and be next to their heart.
yeah. I mean, but the thing is that like you're an
Interesting.
adult, like
Right.
I think that like you have the forethought of like something like that. It's not necessarily like, oh, I want to crack their chest open. It's like I want to be emotionally close to them. But
Yeah.
I like Andrew's
like he
16, like
really
that the shit that he's thinking about is much more sinister, in
Well,
like
and
in
honestly,
nature.
I feel like Emily, yours stems more from like love, which I don't know,
Mhm.
maybe because I know you and I don't really know Andrew. He's a character, but
Yeah.
the way Andrew's is depicted is, in my opinion, obsession. Like
Yeah.
it's not anywhere close to love, it's obsession. And now that I'm thinking about it, he did say he was asexual a
Mhm.
lot. And so I'm wondering if maybe Eric is right and like it is just an alter ego of himself, and that's why he's obsessed with Thomas. I don't know.
he's
Well,
Tom and
right.
all the
Yeah.
things that Andrew is not.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like
Um,
all the things Andrew kind of wishes he was.
Or can't have or can't express.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Although if that were the case, like why would he choose a human that was like so like wanted to like be intimate with him when
That's true.
he knows that like that's not something that he wants, like out of a relationship,
That's,
which is
this is
absolutely
all
fine, but like why choose that to have that inner turmoil? Unless he's
okay.
punching himself, I could see that. Like,
or
That's, I
or
was gonna say, go
sorry.
ahead, Madeline. No,
Oh,
go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, or that's like him still like, as a young adolescent trying to
wrestling with
figure
that.
out his
Oh,
identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I can see
I was
that
gonna
too.
say the same thing. Like he's trying to still, I mean, you tend to go through like periods of trial and error, I feel like,
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
where
He
you
might,
like don't feel
yeah.
normal. And so you're trying to see what is society has told you normal or like you should want. And so maybe that's him like trying to figure out, is it okay to be himself in a way? I don't know.
Yeah, and
Have you
like creating these scenarios where like it necessarily wouldn't be, but I do feel like they're kind of like on the same page, like at the end. Like if Thomas were real in this type of situation, like they kind of have that conversation and they sort of like are like, okay, like yeah, like like I know that you don't want to be intimate, but like I still am interested in being with you. So it's like in his mind, he was like, okay, like I worked it out. Like now Thomas is the perfect, you know, which also kind of lends to the thought process of that maybe Thomas is a figment of his imagination. I don't love that, but like I could see that being what's going
Yeah.
on.
I think he
Yeah.
was real, but I think he was taken away at some point. And
Right,
that's
like everything that happened was not real
well, I think
from
that's
the point.
why he's going crazy because like all his support systems are gone. You
Yeah.
know, I don't
But I
know.
also felt like fake Dove, like was there to make Andrew question himself. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that Dove said felt like a lie, and Dove is the one that said that Thomas was gone. Like at the beginning of so it's just like Dove is not a reliable source of information in the book because she is essentially Andrew's figmentation of her.
Yeah, but
So,
Andrew's not a reliable source in the book
well,
either.
right, because he's insane. Which, again, I'm back to he never went back to Wickwood Academy, and he is in that padded cell, like having these conversations with himself, like straight up. Like I genuinely believe that.
Yeah, that's what makes this book so interesting is because like there is no reliable source of information.
Right, right, right,
Yeah,
exactly. And like
I will
everybody's
give the author that. Like, it is very thought intriguing,
Mhm.
but frustrating, I
Well, and
guess.
like what I didn't like about it, is the gore. Like I typically am
Yeah.
not a huge fan of gore in books, and like the way the teacher was killed, I was like, oh, bro, no, no, thank you.
Mm.
Like not for me. So like I liked the book. I thought it was really interesting, thought provoking. After the end, I was sitting there like, staring at a wall, which I think is a mark of like an interesting read. But yeah, like the parts where like people were dying, like absolutely horrible, and like the monsters themselves, like that shit gave me nightmares. So
Yeah.
as
Oh, I
as
was
one would
listening to it
expect from
on
me, like
I was listening to it on audiobook, and like at one point it was the part where the one creepy like monster talks the first time. Like, I forget what he says, but I was like,
horrifying,
oh,
absolutely horrifying.
like I feel like it would have been different had I been reading it and not listening to it. But I was like all by myself. It was nighttime. I'm listening to it. I was like, okay, I need to stop.
I was
Okay,
like,
listening to it is a fucking move for you because
yeah.
I don't think I could have done that. Like,
Right.
Yeah, that's why like I have to turn down like the sound if I'm like watching a scary movie because the music and like the way things are like said or whatever.
tension
Like,
wrapping, yeah.
yeah, that's what makes it scary. It's not really actually like the thing that's happening that's scary, but it's just like the build up and all of that like makes it scary. But
I'll
for sure.
literally close my ears. Like
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Or like hide in a blanket, like, like
Yeah.
make sure that like my head is protected by a blanket. I have no idea why. Like,
This is why I like to watch horror movies on the plane because I can just like focus on other people if I need to.
right, I'm not alone. It's fine. Like,
Hiro likes to do that. He loves like
Mhm.
watch horror movies on the plane. I'm like, that's wild, but like it makes
Feels
sense
safer. Yeah.
because you're secure with like
Right.
a bunch of different.
Maybe I should go see horror movies in the theater then. But like my thing is
No.
that like I can't get away from it, you know?
Well,
Like
and
if
like
I don't like something, I
theater,
just go to the other room. Like,
yeah, the theater makes it so much worse because it's so much louder and dramatic because you
yeah,
got the surround sound. Like that would be terrible idea, Katie.
you're right. I'd have to wear a hoodie and then I'd just be like,
Just get some alcohol and then go.
get
You know,
fucking hammered. Do shrooms, dude. Like, fuck
oh,
it.
yeah, don't do shrooms.
The worst script of my life.
But like, when I was younger, like to go see a horror movie, like when we could, like we were being dumb kids, we'd get like a slushie and put like some vodka in it.
Oh, for sure. Well, I saw like Alice in Wonderland, and we did do shrooms on Alice in Wonder and we went there, and like that was such a wild experience for me. Like I was like I can't I like walked out of that theater changed, like straight up.
Changed, created your obsession with books. This
Well,
is
and
why you are.
right, right. No, I basically like rewrote my brain. I went and saw a movie with Meredith one time, and it wasn't even the movie we were seeing. It was a commercial, and it was that one. I think the name of the movie is actually Mama or whatever.
Oh
And
no, no,
remember
no,
that
no,
creepy ass movie, Malin? And like when they did the trailer or whatever, they were
Mama.
like I that played in my head for fucking years later. Like I still think about it. Like.
Dude, that was wild. I think we just said "mama" at the same time, and that's people because I
Well,
couldn't hear you
it's
say.
two girls. It's two girls too, and they both do say it at the same time. So that was actually wildly accurate. And now I'm gonna go cry in the corner. But
I'm gonna watch that. Never will. Won't do
yeah,
it.
but I do feel like this book, I did definitely think about it a lot afterwards, and like, because like this is not like a flex or anything, but like my imagination is really vivid, and like when I go to bed, like I dream about it. I'll wake up, I'll see shit on the walls, and like that. So in my opinion, like the visuals in this book and like the just like the scenery and how the author like paints the picture or whatever is wildly good in my opinion because I was doing that
Mhm.
afterwards.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is a mark of a really good a book and the writing and the putting you in the story.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate it, but
I really liked all the creativity, like with the characters, like the artist, the writer. And I feel like a lot of like artists and writers and creative people like go through a lot of like psychological stuff. So I was
yeah,
just
I mean, you gotta go through trauma to create good work.
I know I was like,
Not, maybe not. That's probably a wildly bold statement. I'll take it
yeah.
back.
I mean not always, but like it does seem like there is a connection with, creativity and going
Life
through
experience?
tough things, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Who is everybody's, if it even exists, but who is everybody's like favorite character? Like that they,
Promise.
right? Yeah, he was great for sure. If he was real.
Yeah.
Honestly, I actually just like really like Andrew. I know he's like kind of like dramatic and just like really in his head, obviously.
Hmm.
But like I don't know, I feel like if I had something like really traumatic happen to me, like my twin dying, like I feel like I would be Andrew. Like I would fall into a psychosis and I would
Right.
be exactly doing exactly what he's doing.
He's easier to relate to, in my
Hmm.
opinion, for like when you find out what actually happened. Like it starts to
Honestly,
make sense to me the way he reacted.
honestly, I agree. I agree with both of you guys because initially I was getting really frustrated that he like wouldn't tell Thomas his feelings. And like, dude, just freaking tell him. Like, what does it matter? Blah blah blah. And he had like he's very expressive with his like thoughts about like, wanting to be inside his skin and cracking
Yikes.
his ribs
Right.
open and blah blah blah. And then once I realized like Dove had died, I was like, okay, so he's in psychosis. He's like literally losing his mind. And I was like, that makes sense. I would do the same.
Right, right. Um, I feel like I really, really didn't like Dove. Like, and I feel really bad about that because that wasn't Dove. But like throughout the whole book, I was like, man, Dove is just really not being a good twin. But she really
Right.
wasn't. She was a good twin. She just died, like,
I
which was
know.
terrible.
I was like, past Dove was probably amazing.
Yeah,
Like,
she was probably wonderful.
and like always trying to help her brother. It seems like that was like a theme that like Thomas remembered about Dove is like always being there for him. So like I think that's why it was like really confusing for him
Hmm.
that like this, Dove that really wasn't there was like in and out of his like, you know,
Right. And it really perpetuated the feeling of aloneness throughout the book because like he didn't even have his twin on his side, where in like previous pre-Dove dying like he would have. And like that just like not understanding why that was happening between the two of them and not having that connection, I feel like that just pushed Andrew farther over the edge as well this year
yeah.
if he was even there. I'm just saying.
Question. If Thomas, like if we think Thomas did like end up like, getting taken away by the police or dying, like when do you think that happened in the story? Like when he went to the principal's office or like when do you guys think like that would have happened?
I
Well,
think honestly, like that plot point, like kind of just like fell through. Like I don't think that they really delivered well on that like side plot because like we really don't have a lot of answers. But I feel like there were interactions with Thomas like from other characters like after that point. So like I don't think he was like I think he was there the whole time.
yeah, see that this is why like okay, yeah, it could be like a plot hole, right? I and if
Yeah.
it's a plot hole, then I think you guys are right and they were at the school. But I think that it just didn't happen. Like
Yeah, well, it's hard because like Andrew isn't a reliable narrator and it's all from his perspective. So we really don't have like solid ground to work with.
Yeah.
right, right. Well, and like just like the car ride in, like the
Mhm.
first chapter when they're coming in, like Dove's there, like Dove. Like I feel like that is Andrew manifesting what he wanted, like coming
Yeah.
back to school, being with Dove, being with Thomas. And then like I think he's in that padded cell and like things are starting to fall apart because they aren't real. Like Dove's gone, Thomas is not there, like at school doesn't feel real. The monsters are there because like that's like Andrew's mind attacking what he wants to be true and then what actually is true. That's kind of how I took all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Have you
just picture him like drawing and like writing on his like little padded cell, like the story of the year. Like that's what I like. It's like Smallville, Lionel in the padded cell, writing all of like the language or whatever. Like that's Andrew. That's where he's at. He's never left there. But
Yeah. Question: do you think it's possible that Andrew and Thomas were having a shared delusion?
oh, like
Mm.
Thomas is in the next cell over because like he's also in solitary confinement for murdering his parents. Like
Yeah.
Did he murder his parents?
I don't
I
think
think he
so.
did.
I don't
He
think that was real.
Well,
like
yeah, because he said that it was like a monster that came,
Hmm.
and so like the monster killed them. But like Andrew had also said that his parents were like abusive to him. So like, was it just like self-defense? And Andrew was coming up with like the monster theory to like, you know, uh, just keep going with his stuff. I don't know.
And like Andrew also wrestled with that too. He was like, maybe Thomas is a murderer, maybe it is,
Right.
So like in my opinion, if it is real, then it and we could also make the argument that like everything that happened actually happened. Like the monsters are real. It is
and
mad.
just like it's a fantasy world, yeah.
Right.
Like what
I mean, we haven't discussed that. I don't think any of us, like the four of us, like really do think that. But like,
yeah.
take it from that perspective. Like, if that is the case, then like, how do we make that an argument of that is actually how the story went?
If
Yeah.
that's the case, then Andrew's dumb. Like he pisses me off because the whole time he's like, it must be Thomas's drawings. It must be Thomas still drawing. And Thomas like stopped drawing forever ago. One and two, he can control the story or the narrative with his stories. How would he not figure out that it's himself? Like
Right.
that it's his
Yeah,
stories coming true and Thomas's drawings, if anything, if Thomas contributed to the drawings at all, they're just like they gave the monsters an image to like
right.
replicate themselves as.
For
Like
sure. Andrew's
it drives
definitely
me
full control
insane.
of that train. Yeah, like, because when I thought it was a fantasy, I was like, bro, no. Like,
Clearly it did.
come on, man. Like, you're living in Delulu land. Like, that's you. Like, I
Dog,
agree,
this is the
though.
problem.
Yeah.
But I don't think he wanted to give up like this like team battle fight, like he felt important. Like it gave him, purpose. It gave him
Agreed. He needed something to hold on to fight for because his twin was gone. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, he needed that, which just, again, lends to my
Oh.
added cell theory.
So he
Like,
made excuses that like it must be Thomas, but like let's keep, fighting these monsters, dog. Like we got this.
Like maybe Andrew's like writing like him and Andrew into these stories as like heroic figures, and like he's just a part of the story. Maybe he isn't real at all, but I don't know. And then at the end when he buries or whatever Thomas's heart or whatever he does, like maybe it's just his stories. Like maybe he just like buries his stories. I don't know.
Do you think he kills
ooh,
himself?
okay, I thought that too. Like I thought he just I like that's why I don't think he ever left. Like I think he realized that like oh fuck, like everything that I this whole year is fake. I'm out. Like I really think that that's what happened.
Well,
Yeah.
what's like with the seed thing too? Like him turning into the monster, him turning into like, like that. Do you guys remember him like the
Yeah,
seed?
I think
Mm.
that like finally like when your brain attacks itself, and then
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying, then like you basically like jump off the deep end or whatever. Like I think that like it's kind of like One Dark Window and like me and the thing and the monster we became. Like I kind of feel like that's the type of vibe here. Like he became what he was trying to fight so hard because he couldn't accept his sister's death, you know
Yeah.
and like he just became his delusion.
Like that was like his growing like trauma, his growing like
It manifested itself in his mind. And I don't think he can deal. Which a fair. Like
which really makes me think that Thomas was like not real and like a part of him like at the end. Like
right, I think he manifested Thomas as like a way to reconcile what he was doing.
he was like bearing both parts of himself like at the end almost there,
Yeah.
right?
Ooh, deep, dude.
Yeah.
I like that.
I feel like of any theory, that's the one I believe the most is that so I know you guys feel like Thomas maybe didn't exist or whatever, but I do think I think he killed his parents. And I think that he got taken away when the police officers were first there to answer Madeline's question, like from a long time ago. But I think he got taken away when he was called into the principal's office and they said he was suspicious. I think they came back later and like took him away, and that just wasn't seen by Andrew. And he couldn't handle losing more of his support system. And I think from then on, Thomas is a figment of his imagination and his storytelling. And I do think he was actually at the school, like losing his mind
Yeah.
because
Yeah, that's really
Lana, whenever Lana does interact with Thomas or other people do interact with Thomas, like it's always from like, and I realize Andrew's the narrator, but it's always Andrew seeing the interaction, if that makes sense, and like interpreting it his way. And I think by the end, yeah, I agree. I don't think Thomas was actually there. I think he ended up killing himself. I feel like of any interpretation, that's probably the one I believe the most because I do think he was at the school and I don't think the monsters were really there simply because no one saw the monsters or the evidence of the monsters except for the people that died. And I think Andrew killed those people, honestly.
right. And like
They were
Andrew
all
was the only
tormentors of him.
well,
His
Andrew's the common denominator in all of those
yes.
situations, you know? And the thing is that like and another thing is like, did we get any conversations with like other characters about Thomas being there? Because I don't think we did, which I think lends to that theory a little bit more. Because it's not like, oh, like I'm talking to Lana and I'm gonna go hang out with Thomas later. You know, like that never happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
Never had a chance to like go ahead.
there was like the bully interactions too. I forgot the guy's name, but
Where Thomas would come to like the rescue, but what if it was just Andrew
yeah,
personality? Like
yeah. So I don't really know, but I mean, those were the only other interactions with Thomas, I guess.
I,
Yeah.
I
and maybe
almost
oh sorry. I
go
was gonna
ahead.
say like maybe like the drawing stopped because he actually just wasn't there. And that was like his way of
Mm,
saying like, oh, Thomas stopped drawing.
Because Andrew can't recreate that.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that makes me sad.
I know, like I really hope that like I almost like my padded cell theory better because like the fact that like he if he was at the school and like the suffering had to be so much more, you
Yeah.
know, like
Well,
all
and he's
alone at this
slowly
place.
losing his mind and not even fucking realizing it. My worst nightmare. Come
Right.
to life in
do
book.
you think that was the purpose of the book for us to all lose our minds while trying to figure this out?
Right. Yeah, right. Well, and like I another thing too, like the dad, right? The dad like was sort of absent in this, you know? And I just kind of feel like if he was at school, that wouldn't have been the case, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
of course, like parents, like, you know, like if they, like, you know, like I could see, like, if you lost a child, like it's really hard to communicate with your other child, the one remaining, you know? So, like, I know that that does happen as well, but like, I feel like that's why I just don't think he was ever there because, like, if he was in some sort of mental institution, you know, like, you know, maybe not having communication with the outside world and just all of this, like, is delusions in his head, like, I feel like it would make sense for the father to be missing, you know? Whereas if
Hmm.
he was at school, like, why was his dad not fucking calling him? Like, why was he not checking up on him? Because he's, you know,
Well,
like,
he
Yeah.
lost his phone for a while, remember?
Yeah.
Like he
yeah,
lost it in the forest for a while. So, and I think at one point it said like I don't know, like he called his dad at one point.
I do. Yeah, I do. It was early on. I do remember that.
Yeah.
And it didn't go well. Um, Another thing too, it's just like I did kind of feel like Thomas and Andrew, like I know they interacted with like other people, or at least Andrew did, but I did kind of feel like they were on like an island on their own. You know, like
Hmm.
it's just like we didn't really get a lot from the other characters, and I know that was kind of intentional, right? Because like it was sort of like expressing like how alone Andrew is feeling, and like alone in this like thing that he thinks is actually happening to the school, and like trying to save people or whatever. Although I do think that Andrew paints himself as a hero type figure, but is still massively fucked up in the brain,
Yeah.
and is sort of villainous in that aspect. Um, but yeah, I just like I don't know what happened, and I that bugs me.
I don't
Here's
like.
another theory. I'm sorry, Madeline. Go
No, I
ahead.
was just gonna say I don't like that. Like he potentially killed people, and I'm like trying to like,
Rationalize poor Andrew,
yeah, like maybe that was also just a figment of his
but like
imagination.
I got the vibe from him that like he absolutely could have. Like his
I
inner
did too. Yeah,
monologue was
for
so
sure.
dark, bro. Like that's a dark character. Like if he is not in a padded cell, he probably should be. Like, you
Yeah,
know.
Yeah, I agree. I I think he killed them, and honestly, like I don't like Andrew very much, so I'm not trying to like find redemption for him, but I think he's just a very like he's a very misunderstood character in his own right. Like he um needs to go talk to a therapist. And like I thought that the entire book, I was like, man, this kid really needs to go talk to someone.
You need to go see your school guidance counselor, bro.
well,
Yeah,
This is
what's
wild.
important
but
is that like nobody did go talk to him. You know, it's like why like
I
somebody
mean,
should be getting him help because
if he
his
was at the school, he should have been in therapy weekly for just what
yeah,
happened last year. Like
I
that
agree.
should have been mandated. Like he should not have been left to his own devices, I don't think.
he's a kid. Like at the end of the day, like he's not gonna go seek out therapy himself.
Right, right. Yeah,
I
he's
agree, but
16.
isn't that on the parent? Like the school can't
Agreed.
mandate you to go to, like the school can't really make you do anything
Oh,
other
another
than like
book where
school
a parent
curriculum.
shits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's me. Shocker.
This whole like book, the like actual adults in the book like fucking suck.
no,
They don't do
Right.
anything.
But again, like I do think that is Andrew
Yeah.
manifesting negative energy, like
yeah.
he's a very troubled kid, like
Mm.
and I think like obviously Dove dying was the catalyst there, but like even, just some of the vibes that I got from like the previous year that they were there, I think he was always kind of troubled.
Yeah.
And I think he was able to sort of curb that with his writing beforehand, like with his stories, like, he was like, okay, like, this is how I'm going to express myself. I'm not going to outwardly express myself. So if he was actually at school, like Dove dying, not being able to like have somebody to talk to, like I think that's kind of why he, took a dive off the deep end, if you will.
Yeah.
And if he murdered everybody, like it, like there is like a point A to B, like it makes sense, but
I mean, he only murdered two people, and it was people
that's
that
not that
like,
bad. Like,
well, I'm not like he didn't try to go on a killing spree like at the school. Then I would say maybe, yeah, that was more like in his head. But I do think he had the capacity to murder the two people he did murder because they
Oh,
were
they're his
like,
tormentors.
yes, they were his tormentors, and it sounds like they had always been his tormentors. And I think he did go to the school because the last interaction he had with I forget the popular kid's name, the
It's like
bully.
Brian or something.
Yeah. The last interaction he had with him, like that kid came out and said like how much he actually liked Dove and Dove should have been with him and not Thomas and blah blah blah. And
oh,
that's I don't know,
Whoa.
that's why I feel like he was there because
wrong
like
words to say, buddy.
that's like some of the situations that Andrew is in, like it's in my opinion, it's a far reach in like a psychosis state of mind to like create that if there wasn't already like precedent for it. Like I get Lana, he knew Dove and Lana were close, but for him to create that like bond with her, I feel like is a far reach. Like, why wouldn't he just, I mean, I realize maybe he's going crazy and feels alone, but I still feel like that's a very interesting like friendship thing for him to have created in his mind if he is in a padded cell creating all this.
Oh, I was
You know
like, where
what
are
I'm
you
saying?
going
I
with this?
feel
I was
like
like, oh, you're tearing my theory to shreds. Nice.
no. I'm not trying to tear it to shreds. I just, this is why I think he was actually at school is because of like
Uh-huh.
situations like that. And then
Couldn't
also with
manifest
his,
that. Like, why would he even be thinking that in a
right. What,
cell? Yeah.
like, yeah, exactly. Like situations with his bully, like he, in my opinion, is so wrapped up in himself. Like, why would he create this side story of like, that guy loved Dove and wanted to be with her and date her. And I know he like holds his twin in the highest esteem, but I still find that a very like, in my opinion, an interesting side, like,
Well, I think it lends to
addition
the
to the
fact,
story.
yeah, I think it just lends to the fact that like that creates her as a living human being. Like these, like in his mind, if she was still alive, like these things would be happening, you know?
I
Um,
guess, but where would he get this
It's
idea? Like, it has never, they never, in any of his like flashbacks or in any of the flashbacks, they never comment on Dove, like, other than being liked in general by the whole populace of the school and her being like the golden child.
unless these are things that had already happened like the previous year that he's just supplementing
Maybe. Yeah, I could see that. I guess more like he's replaying events that had happened
I,
to like
and then like is in the padded cell and his resolution to it is like killing them.
mhm.
I like at the very beginning, like when I thought that the fantasy aspect was real and like that Dove was still alive, I actually thought that Dove was going to be the killer. That
Yeah.
like she was manifesting, like she was getting Thomas's drawing and like looking at Andrew's writing and being like, I'm just gonna start, fucking shit up because like she was so like mean, kind of like.
Right, like standoffish,
Yeah,
like
I thought it was her, and
girl.
I thought she was trying to like warn him that like, hey, like I am not right. Like I need to stay away from you to keep you safe because like I'm becoming a murderer. Like I seriously thought it was gonna be her at the end, and then I was like, oh my God, like she isn't real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's girl? I think what's good about this book though is like if it anybody read it like they'd have a little bit more awareness of like how trauma and
Oh
like
yeah, for sure.
psychological
How it
shit
can manifest. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
What it can do to a person, and especially if they're not given the tools to
Cope
yeah,
with their grief.
express help. Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Take it on a like how it could be, like a little bit, a good book.
Especially at that age too, like when you're like not everything is fully developed and like you don't have any support. Like, I mean, like that's
Yeah,
just it's
your
tough.
complete support
So,
system. Well, I mean, like think about like all the kids that like have done some really fucked up stuff in history, like
Yeah.
like these are the fucking Andrews of the world. So
Goddamn. Facts.
okay, wait, I have another question because I never really thought about this, but so the story bit about how he can't eat, like he's like tastes the forest and stuff, and he's like not eating or whatever, and people keep like, well, Thomas keeps bringing it up, and he just like fakes eating. Do you think maybe he just like starved himself to death, like he was actually at Wildwood, and then eventually like
possibly, yeah,
he
possibly,
just
yeah, was suffering from like a eating disorder as well
I
on
think
top
that
of
like maybe helped play into the
Oh yeah. Yeah. I could
well,
see that.
I haven't been able to say that word recently, so I feel like I might have had a small stroke, but I don't know.
Did you say hallucinations? Is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
that's what I'm trying to say, but my brain can't do it anymore, I
No,
guess.
right
facts.
again, just one more time. Let's see if we can get it.
No.
Please, like,
I'm saying it
absolutely
slow, like
not.
Do it for the podcast. Do it for the
Come
podcast.
on, come on.
I'm going really slow with it, like hallucinations. That's usually how I have to do it.
He's
Hallucin.
like, no.
No.
It's okay. I have a really hard time, and I'm gonna say it right now, but like I have a really hard time with legitimately. I mess that word up all the time. To be honest, I don't really think that word should be in conversation very often. Like, there's really no point for it. But like, so I
I
don't think it's a huge
legitimately
deal.
think there is a point.
I keep saying light instead of a
Asshole. Yes, that's a hard one. Pretzel is another hard one for me. I throw an N in there. I don't know why. Obviously, it's pretzel, or maybe I don't know, but
pretzel.
pretzel, pretzel.
Pretzel.
Do
I,
you
I
think pencil?
I don't know why. Like, there's obviously like N is nowhere near that word. It makes no sense. But yes, I do that quite often. So
Sorry.
So let's hear your hallucinations.
yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. Delusions over here of an N making an N to the spelling of that word. I think that's it,
Really
though.
off topic. I'm pretty sure Emily was about to say something about hallucinations.
Yeah, I just was gonna say like him not eating probably like played into it, and I think part of him like him saying that like everything was like dirt, which I don't know, that was weird. I
I
I
was
don't
like, okay,
know.
maybe he's actually a fairy, and he's eating Cuban food and he doesn't like it, because I feel like they often talk about how like it tastes like ash, like real
Yeah,
Cuban
well,
food.
and it was just like it was kind of weird how he said like he could feel the sensation of like the forest inside of him too,
Oh,
like
that.
Mm.
What if
like
he was dead the whole time and he was like buried?
Oh my gosh, that's a terrible afterlife. Like, why is this kid suffering? Like,
Dude, that's what I thought initially. That's why I thought Andrew was dead. Because, like, some of the stuff he would say is too much like, okay, so he's dead and buried in the ground. Like,
yeah,
Gosh, what if that like was his
a
spirit
ghost.
back to his
What if he was a ghost?
purpose?
could have
oh,
been like an apparition. Yeah.
Thomas, like Thomas was like that whole like end like of them burying each. I don't know.
I
Oh
I
my gosh. What if he was a ghost and he was the monsters or like controlling the monsters,
I
but like
always thought he
also
was
a
controlling
ghost?
monsters. Yeah.
A ghost of him, like what if he was a ghost at the school and Thomas was actually real and
Mm.
had all the interactions and Andrew just thought that he was there
Oh,
and that
So
like and
wow.
then he lured Thomas into the forest and killed him and that's how they were able to see each other again because he's obsessed with him
Hmm.
and couldn't deal with like what if he died so like after Dove died what if he like lost his ever loving shit and died as well and then the whole book is him being a ghost and then putting himself in these situations basically like following Thomas around the whole year and like haunting Thomas until eventually Thomas can't take it and he lures him into the forest and like kills him.
what if
Uh,
what if he killed Thomas and
I
Thomas
totally think he killed Thomas.
in the forest and that's why he felt like the forest tasted like or like he always felt like
like
the
at the beginning of the year, like he killed Thomas at the beginning of the year.
and his parents he was obsessed with him.
And he was like losing his shit because he's like, oh fuck, like I did that. Like,
I don't know. That's why this book I think is really good because like all these like you just really don't know.
Yeah, and you'll never like actually get a definitive answer.
I'm writing the author, bro. Like,
I must
I'm gonna have a
find out.
conversation with this guy, like, or girl. I don't know.
It's a girl.
Okay, I was gonna say it's like sort of androgynous.
Yeah, we should look up like what she says about the book, like if she gives any like.
Well, I think she says like in the thing like it is up to the reader to determine like what happened. Like so I don't think
That's
she
savage.
has an
That is
answer.
savage. Like,
Yeah.
Do
I feel like she had to have something in mind though while she was writing it. You know what I mean?
sure.
I would love to just hear her like
I'm gonna pick her
what
brain.
her initial thought was.
Maybe she
Yeah.
was
And
having
then
a psychosis event as well, and she was like, "Let me just fuck with everyone."
I do think
maybe,
you kind of have to
maybe
go into like a psychosis to write, to be honest. So, like, I
Yeah,
fully support that theory.
is
yeah.
it a psychosis or would you call it like a flow state?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess it could. I mean, are the two kind of synonymous? Like,
I guess.
We were just talking about flow state the other day, or I think I don't know, but
I've
I've
been I
never really
what?
heard that term until recently.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've been reading it in a lot of books about stuff, but I've also been reading way more like self-development books.
Mm, I need to start doing that. maybe. I don't know.
It's up to you. I don't
Yeah,
know
maybe.
that's really developing anything, but
I'm not sure it's helping, but I've got some more words I could throw around in the podcast when we talk about it. So
yeah,
It can't.
it gives me interesting ideas. Like I guess those are also thought provoking because like they challenge the way you normally think, I guess.
It's
mhm.
like,
That's what we need more in this world of people being open-minded and changing the way they think.
Mm,
yeah.
mhm.
Do you think
I don't
float
know. I
is
like the way I think though.
do
Well,
you think
But you're open to other ideas, which is good.
yeah, that's true.
That's true, but I do often think I'm going crazy and like no one will tell me.
We'll definitely tell you.
Um,
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
No
I
problem.
think everyone kind of has that thought, right?
maybe,
Like,
and I think that sometimes it's okay. Like as long as you're not off like murdering teachers, it's fine.
right,
As
of
long as I'm
course.
not, like Andrew.
That's when you cross the line, dude.
If you
Okay?
start
I would
tasting
hope
dirt
that
in
you
your
guys would come in and tell me that I've crossed the
Like
line
I'll
at that
help
point.
you bury the body, but after that we're gonna have a serious come to Jesus talk, okay? Like
if you start tasting dirt in your food, you know something's off. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for
Dirt in the
sure.
food. Got it. Got it. Okay. I'll
If
watch
you
out
start
for
trying
those
to live
signs.
in people's skin, all right?
I don't know. Emily said she does want that. So,
That's like
Right.
that's a romantic note, okay? Like we just don't need to be actually cutting chests open, okay? Like cracking rib cages. That's where I draw the line, you know?
no burying hearts.
Nah, yeah, bro. Don't
Yeah, you can only have bones.
right?
Only after we
Dude, I
die.
feel like Andrew would have been like, "Oh my gosh, thank you for the skull." Like
I am Andrew.
this is totally my vibe. This will look great in my dorm room.
Yeah.
Not it. I
Right.
don't know. That's crazy.
Um, any last minute thoughts, comments, concerns for our poor Andrew?
No,
I
okay.
maintain that he went fucking crazy at school.
I think he's dead.
Matt, like that's so dark, bro.
I'm sorry. I do.
I think bro is in a four-walled white cell in a straitjacket, straight up. Like,
I think
I'm
Thomas
the
and
outlier, and I'm gonna say all of it was true.
yes.
Wild, wild.
real fantasy
I
novel.
think his padded cell, somebody gave him a charcoal crayon and it looks absolutely fucking wild in there. That's
Yeah.
what I
Listen, I don't think it's real because when you look it up, I'm pretty sure it's not classified as fantasy. It's only classified as horror. So, I
Is
mean,
it isn't it
context
like
clues, maybe.
psychological?
Definitely not real, right?
I don't remember, but I thought it was just classified as horror, honestly.
I don't know,
I'm,
that's actually a good thing. Somebody look
I
that
think
up.
it's YA psychological horror.
I
I'm
really liked the forest monsters. They seemed really like folklory to me, and I dig it.
yeah,
So.
like I guess like fairies are like I've read a bunch of books of like fairies that are like actually depicted as, like if they were true or whatever, and they are sort of, like
Terrifying.
violent creatures,
Okay.
if provoked.
Yeah. I know that's why everyone's like, don't mess with the Fae, and I'm like, honestly, it has to be better than what's going on here, right? Like,
Find a
take,
fairy circle and jump in.
uh,
Do you think each monster like was like a different like
So it is classified as YA horror, psychological horror, dark fantasy, folkloric horror, and queer romance.
What? Where is it classified as dark fantasy? Like, what are you looking up at? Because when I just looked up, it just said psychological horror.
Um, it's just on like the internet, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's on Goodreads.
On Goodreads, it's classified as that. But does that from people
Horror,
that think it's true?
horror, fantasy, young adult, queer, LGBT, dark academia, gothic, fiction, mystery, romance. Although, I mean, I guess
What I'm
if
saying
somebody
is like if that is like the tag,
where are you
like if
going
those
to
are the
find
tags that they like people who have read it put in, then
uh-huh.
yeah, it would be like fantasy. But I'm saying like what does the publisher or like categorize it as? So like what would the author categorize it as? So like does she actually intend it to be fantasy? Mhm.
Well, do I look it up on her like website or
I
like
have no idea, dude. I'm just
like how
saying.
do you find that out? Like do I think I have to write the author. Like
I think you do. Katie, update us on this.
yeah, like I mean I guess she's the
Get
only
it.
one that knows, but I mean like as far as like everything I'm on here, like any site, I mean,
Yeah.
can I look at Amazon?
I think because she left the book up to our interpretation, like we also get to decide what genre it's in.
Right, yeah, facts. Oh, that's funny. I mean, I guess if it like had won some award, it would probably be in a specific category, which I would say
Yeah.
probably it can't be anything other than like horror because that is the main
Yeah. It's
sort of
Yeah.
probably like YA horror for sure.
yeah. Uh
Although, like young adult, like geez, it is so gory. Like
she get
Katie,
freaking dark. Like I'm not sure I want my 16-year-old reading that. Like
I definitely wouldn't want my
although
16-year-old
we
year old
let them
reading that.
all read The Hunger Games, so I mean, I'm not sure what's worse than that. So
Right. Yeah. I mean,
That's
I
true.
think it'd be fine.
from like a perspective of that, I love it. I just meant like the premise is maybe not conducive to a young child.
Yeah.
Probably
I don't know. I
stars in
feel like
their
this one's a
nightmare.
little more messed up for a young child than the Hunger Games.
Are you kidding me? Put 24 of them in the fucking like arena and like kill them? Like wait, what? And have them kill each other? Like that's dark as shit. Like
Well,
Yeah, but the premise behind that is they're like trying to survive. Like this is literally Andrew going insane.
yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
but even in the Hunger Games, like people go insane
And it's
in
depicting,
the arena.
yeah, but it's
Have
not
that.
depicting their like
Yeah.
sense of insane. Like it's not basically giving you a roadmap to insanity.
I don't know.
That's
Kato
what
goes
we think
pretty
is happening
psycho
to
there at the
Andrew.
end, bro. Like
True.
I mean, I just think that like I think it's like Andrew is like psychosis is in his head, whereas in the Hunger Games, the psychosis is due to their surrounding, right?
See, but I feel like
That's
that's what makes this one worse, is because
a,
it is in his head, and you have a boatload of like teenagers that feel alone, like no one knows what they're going through,
now
and
they
they're all in their freaking heads and in their hormones, and they just like I don't know, like the depiction would be normal to them, like, oh yeah, this makes sense. Like I should
oh,
follow in
you mean like,
Andrew's
oh, we
footsteps.
watch the Hunger Games every year. Like this is just as usual, status quo, you know? Yeah, I guess. But like I also think that like the just the premise of like that the Hunger Games is just so fucked up, you know?
Oh, it's
And
messed up.
then
I'm not saying
yeah.
it's not. I'm not trying to like argue that fact. I'm just saying that I think this one is more messed up
And I think
for a
that like
kid.
comes with the fact that like your worst fear is going crazy. Like whereas like
Yes,
my worst
yes,
fear is
that
having to
could be
kill
it.
somebody. Like I don't want to do that and I don't want to be like it be publicized as like a good thing, you know?
Yeah.
And like I win
Oh,
some,
for sure not.
you know, like I
yeah,
feel like Hunger Games.
I if I were in a psychosis, I wouldn't give a fuck that I was in the Hunger Games. Like I'd probably
Right.
be
Yeah.
So, but my question, Katie, is where in your life have you ever felt like you may need to like bring out your inner Hunger Games and that would actually happen? Like, I feel like what's happening to Andrew, like
Could
literally could
happen.
happen to
It's more
anyone.
realistic. Yeah, no, facts. That's so facts. And that's you know what, I'm glad that you said that because you're right. Because that is something that could actually happen and has happened. Just like when you
Yeah.
watch like horror movies, like I'm not saying like you know like I'll just give like throw out Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like I know that's very like heavily like depicted to be gross and gruesome for like the viewer. But like it's not like that shit hasn't happened before. And that's why those things
Right.
are so scary to me. Um,
Yeah, I agree.
but I do think something like the Hunger Games, like that is very realistic to me as well. I mean, like if you just
What?
think of like history, like and maybe not in that type
that
of
is
vibe, but like I mean Nazi Germany, you know, like rounding them all
or
up.
the
You know what
fact
I'm
that
saying? Like shit could happen like that.
yeah, we used to put people in a fucking coliseum and watch them
Or
kill.
internment camps. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. So like that is very like I think that would be like an absolute worst case scenario if like civilization falls, like shit could go like that. So in my mind,
Oh,
they're both scary, but just in different
I
ways.
agree.
And
And I agree. It totally could. And I'm not saying like those things don't frighten me either, but I feel like I'm much closer to what's happening to Andrew than we are ever going to be close, at
And
least in our lifetime, close to what happened in the Hunger Games.
mental is so scary, because like you
Yeah,
can't trust yourself,
I know.
which I
That's
think is
all my
like this.
biggest fear.
Yeah, the scariest part of this book. Like the Hunger Games is more like damage to the body, whereas this book is damage to the mind. And that can happen to anybody, you know.
Yeah,
What's that?
terrifying.
What's that? Like we but I also think like I mean maybe. I feel like I'm gonna preface this with a maybe. I do think as a child it is harder to understand the inner workings of like the mind and like what can happen to you psychologically than you to understand like you killing your fellow man. So that's why I don't think I would want my kid reading The Hunger Games because it is so violent.
Hmm.
And like that is depicted, violence is depicted in our society. It's something that they can resonate where as like the brain is not fully developed.
Hmm.
And like understanding what Andrew's going through or whatever, like I don't think that would like resonate as much with a kid, you know?
I don't know. I don't know that I agree with you on that point.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I just know me at 16 and I would have been like, "Oh man, like fantasy." Like I definitely I wouldn't have thought that like I don't know if I would have grasped
That he was like losing it
or like
if you
even
were.
like I wouldn't have grasped like all of your theories that you're putting forth. Like I wouldn't have been thinking about that. But like now like I am, and like trying to like pick it apart to figure it
Yeah.
out. Like I'm just not
I
sure
don't
I
know.
would have had the forethought at 16 to be able to
Right, but like
understand.
at 16 for me, like because we all read Hunger Games at a young age, but I didn't view it as like it wasn't a terrifying story to me of like kids killing
Right.
other kids. It was
Right.
Katniss trying to survive in this
Mm,
awful situation and
right.
her just trying to be like a badass. Like that's how I took that book
Sure.
when I read it. Like, yes, in hindsight, very fucked up, very messed up. Sorry, I'm
Mhm.
trying not to swear.
Isn't
But
like this book kind of the same thing where he's just trying to survive a very fucked up situation? He's just going about it in the wrong way.
Yeah, I
That's
think there is sort of a theme of survival. Yeah, for sure.
A lot of characters in the Hunger Games probably go about it the wrong way too.
mhm.
Well, right, because you get put in situations and you like in order to survive, you do some things that you maybe wouldn't have if you wouldn't have been put in a situation for sure.
Yeah, maybe I wouldn't be as scared of this book if I was reading it when I was younger, but I don't know, I was pretty messed up when I was younger too, so I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Like,
I mean,
I don't know.
I think we were just like so like
Well,
enamored by like this idea of like somebody like pushing back like against and like winning and like being a hero.
rebellion. Yeah, like sticking it to the man type situation. Because as a teenager, that like probably resonates
In
pretty.
this book, there is not really a lot. Like, yeah, they're sticking it to like these forest creatures, but like we're all like, is that even real? Like, you know.
Hmm.
you know, I think the thing that terrifies me with this book, if like I were to say Mava read it in like 10 years, I think the part that I don't like the most is the obsession because he
Oh
frames
yeah.
it as he loves Thomas and he
You
just
don't want her to learn about love
absolutely.
that way.
Well, I don't think that is love. I view
Right.
that as obsession in the sense that, like, Andrew feels like he cannot function by himself. And in my opinion, like, that's not a
Healthy.
healthy
Yeah.
person in
Or
general. And
yeah.
that's the main reason that I was like, he needs to go to therapy because if you, in my opinion, if you feel like you cannot survive this world, like, just and I'm not saying you can't have help or support systems. Like I totally understand that, but like I guess I would want my kid to understand that like,
Yeah.
she doesn't
Well,
need someone else to complete her. She is complete on her own. And like that type of obsession is not healthy. And
But
I think for like if Mava was that obsessed with someone, it wouldn't be healthy for Mava and it wouldn't be healthy for that other someone. Cause in my opinion, that's what starts like
right.
you're like
But
not stopping, but again, obsession. I have no other way of saying it other than
well,
obsession.
and
yeah,
like
it is
if we're
obsessive.
just
But I
yeah,
think this book like clearly shows that this
it's
is not
wrong.
the
Yeah.
way to live, right? Like, I don't think anybody would pick up this book and be like, oh, like,
Man, Andrew was the real G.
like he was doing it right, you know, like
Right.
that he was loving someone accurately, or that like his relationships were like
You're
solid.
right. I think it does do a really good job of showing like that this isn't right. Like this is not right. And I will say like Andrew versus Katniss, like if that can even be made as a comparison because they're two wildly different books, but like Katniss I think is sort of got like this inherently like she's not good all the way, but like she does try to do the right thing, whereas Andrew does not, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Like the right thing for Andrew would not be the like stereotypical right thing in society. So like, just in that instance, like Katniss is a good figure for like if a kid is going to read the Hunger Games to root for, and to maybe one day like emulate if that is like, like I don't mean that, but like as like a figure that stands up for what is right.
Do you think
Yeah, I
like
agree.
reading this book like later on in life would be like, you think that would like, or like whoever reading this book later, like a young adult would like try to replicate like these like ways of love?
I think people are capable of that, but I don't think a book can like really, I think they just are capable of it, you know?
Well, it has to be there before they like read it. Like they have to feel that way, I think.
Yeah, like they
Yeah,
just
I
have
don't think
that
it
in
would
them.
cause them to feel that way. I feel like they'd already be predisposed and
Or
then
they'd be
feel
like searching for things that make them think that what they're like,
like
how they,
validation.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I also just like I said, I just don't know if like I would have gotten the premise of it at that age. Um, uh, dude, no. Sorry. Sorry, he's eating my couch.
Also, I feel like if you pick up any book in the genre of horror, you're type like, like it's typically going to be messed up and wrong and
Right, yeah, that's true. Like,
be
yeah.
messed up. Probably.
You're looking for that type of story if you're in that genre. Which like I said, like I think like all genres like are like great. I think writing is great. I do think that you have to be in the mood for something like this.
Definitely.
So to like really enjoy it, um, or like even not enjoying it is fine as well. Like, like if it's just thought provoking, like I think that, even if you didn't like the story or you didn't like how it ended, it's still good, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
because you're talking about it.
That's like a good topic, is like, do you guys like only read to like feel like happy emotions, or do you like read to like get those provoking emotions and like,
I
you know,
think me and Katie discussed this the other day. Like we want to be destroyed
Yeah,
emotionally.
I like to hurt for sure. Yeah.
I just like to think like I guess like, like
Well,
thought
it's
provoking could
funny,
be
Madeline, because like I feel like the books that you give me recommendations are, and like even Emily as well, like are more thought provoking on that side. But like as me as a reader to like enjoy, I will typically not go for that because I
I think
I do like a good happy ending.
I think it depends on like what mood you're into because
Hmm.
people read based on like how they're feeling at the moment. But
But I have liked every book. Like even The God of the Woods, I liked that book, and that's obviously like a thriller. I know it's probably not surprising to you, of course. Like I can find things that I liked about it, pretty much in anything I read. So like everything that you've suggested, even Verity, like I liked that book, because I just didn't know what happened at the end.
that one's a psychological thriller.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So it's like I can't really say that I don't enjoy reading them because every time that like I finally sit down and like take one of your suggestions and finish it, like I always have a ton of stuff to say about it. So is that not a mark of a good book?
Indeed. I don't know. Yeah. But like if you're like doing it as like a coping mechanism, then maybe not always this is like what you want. Like you want like a happy ending, like you want a reality where like things are going well. So,
Right, yeah. I do typically feel like I want something more after I finish these books because it feels unfinished to me. And just that like sort of like listlessness afterwards gets to me.
I have like the best idea.
Shoot.
Well, I don't know if it's gonna be like a good idea or if we would ever do it, but like, like writing like some fanfic about it, like what, like I don't know,
Finish
like
the story, dude.
finish the ending, you know? I don't know.
I'm
Well,
a
if it
terrible
makes you
writer.
feel
I could
better,
never do that.
I
Yeah.
am like so far deep into the AO3 right now. Like, like I feel like I'm back in high school because I'm on, like, I'm reading fanfic like right now.
Right? Like finishing the story of like what happened and like how
We
all
could
of our
do an exercise. Like, how fun of a podcast that would that be if like we came on here and like read our versions of it? Like, it only has to be like maybe like like a few pages
characters.
or whatever. Like,
I mean,
me,
I'll write it,
mine
but it'll
would go
be some
like
pretty
this.
trash writing.
Mine would go like this. Andrew woke up in his padded white cell with his hands covered in black ink.
I'd probably write it from like the principal's perspective. They found
Oh
Andrew
yeah, that's good. That's good, dude.
in the woods, like they were both dead.
I'd probably write mine like a police report.
There you go.
It's
See,
just
Very
lots of
fucking
information,
clinical. Very clinical. Like,
like no fluff at all, just all info.
I'd
yeah.
write mine from Thomas's
What?
perspective. Like, I've been in jail. I've been hearing some crazy ass shit that Andrew's been doing at Wickwood, dude. Like,
What about you, Emily? What would you like?
18-year-old male did this, blah, blah,
saw the
blah.
news the other day. Australian native goes psycho. Like,
Yeah. I'm
Um,
get a little bit further and just like pretend that the monsters were real and now they're feasting on all the students to make themselves stronger and they're going to take over the world.
yeah, and Andrew and Thomas are actually in the underworld, like after they both died together and they're trying to make their way back up so that they can save their fellow
Well,
man.
no,
maybe,
why would they save him? What in Andrew's mind
Join
made
them!
you think he would come and save them? He would
Well,
join the
You
monsters.
would
the
say
thing
why?
is that Andrew, I think, wants to be the hero.
That's
But
Like he
he's
pits
not.
himself as the hero, and so I think what he would do is he would set him. He's like a firebug, like firemen that start their own fires. Like he puts himself in situations where he would be like the savior, but he's actually the one that is controlling everything.
and that's why this book is good because we all have a different ending. Boom.
Mine would just be a two sentence ending, like in my white straitjacket, like the end.
I don't know. I do want to go back because I didn't share, but I do think like Madeline's question about books. I think because I'm probably the one who hated this book the most. I think it's still good that I read it, if that
Yeah.
answers the question at all. I do think you should once in a while, if you feel like it, read
Yeah.
books outside of your comfort zone.
For sure.
Simply
I
because
totally
like
agree with
the
that.
world is so large. Like there's so much out there. There's so many different human experiences. There's so many different thoughts and ideas and whatever that I feel like if you only read in whatever you like, you're only experiencing like one version of the
You're
world. And that
limiting yourself. Yeah.
yeah, and whether you do it intentionally or unintentionally, I feel like that's like it's worse off for you,
And you're
if that
stunting
makes sense.
discourse, just like
Yeah.
conversation with other people. Like, it's like you can make friends that way as well. Like people that read different things and then you can like, have something in common. So just the fact that if you stay in your own lane, in terms of like consuming media and stuff like that, then you don't have any leg to stand on or, like cannot contribute to the conversation fully.
Right.
Or you
Well,
can't like understand other people. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like I'm not saying you should like completely go against what you think or what you like to read, but I think it helps you to understand where like your neighbor or your friend or your, family is coming from if you like take a second to like listen to what they are consuming or what they're watching or reading or whatever. And like, if you don't agree with it, then tell them why, because then you actually like read the book that they were reading and why you think they're crazy because Andrew's insane. But
I think we can all agree that that is the truth.
well, I think like also like when you're uncomfortable, like that's your like your body like your mind, your ideas growing a little bit.
Yeah, get yourself out of your comfort zone. Like, be uncomfortable, you know?
Because like you're thinking and learning about things that maybe you never have thought about before, and that's uncomfortable.
Facts.
Facts.
Truth.
I gotta get going here soon, so I don't know if you guys wanna.
Well, do we have any idea like what we want to do next?
I feel like we should talk about one of the topics, like just like a random topic, like maybe not even a book, you know? Like,
Yeah. Although this was a good one to talk about, I would say
That
we
was
have
a good one.
for
a lot
sure.
of
For
thoughts on
sure.
this.
I don't know.
Um,
What does everybody like want to read right now? Like, what are we, you know?
I
Um,
always like reading a book that you guys all read because I do like talking about it.
You do?
I
I
do.
do too.
This was very like fun for like me to like hear everybody's thoughts on this and like how everybody's, you know, essentially like ending is different.
You know,
So
I love to talk about books. Like,
so I
Do
think we
you,
should do
Katie?
a book,
no,
but
I mean, the very like chill amount, of course.
also in the meantime, I think it would be good to do like the topic podcast while we're reading that book, maybe.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any book suggestions? Should we read like one that no one's read, or do you guys want to venture into like nonfiction? That would be weird.
We should
Let's do
read
this.
that one book that you recommended to me, Madeline, the River of Darkness. You should
I don't think I can
make
make it.
everybody read that because that book is so tragic. I will never recover.
But what if we do this, guys? What if we take it to our Facebook page and have a poll of what genre to read?
Oh, yeah. Or like just
I like
books,
that idea.
you know, like what I guess we could
Or
John.
books, yeah.
I
We
just
could
feel like nobody like if we give them something to vote on, like if we give them suggestions, they will vote. But
okay.
they do not comment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This
I was not from my post.
I
this is
liked your post. I commented.
I did too.
I know,
everybody one
but
book
I don't
and
think
then
we count though, Nikki. Like
True.
I mean like we do, like you definitely count just as like a human, but like I mean like
In
if it's
the
just us,
podcast
like
yeah,
Facebook.
all
I'm
right.
not sure we're actually reaching anybody, you know?
this
This
is
is
such
what
a
we'll
good
do,
thing
guys.
post, but oh well.
Let's have everybody pick one book and then I'll put it on a poll and then we'll have them pick like the Facebook people pick.
Okay, I'm gonna
Wait,
stop recording
but
and
wait, should we do a sign off?
oh
And
yeah, sure. I mean, go ahead. I introed.
Bye.
Bye.
and that was it.
And she done.